Hello friends, I hope all of you are very good and doing great. So today agenda is to deploy a machine learning model to the AWS as part of my MLS project, MLOps projects. In this basically we have done the coding part for the end-to-end coding part, for the data ingestion, data validator, data transformer, and model pusher, model trainer. The whole code we have done. So that code is already deployed in my GitHub repository. The description will I'll add up this in the uh, description below. And this is basically it's a project. Basically, it's a simple classification model classification project. So yeah, we have done end-to-end coding part, and so, so the technology stacks has been used as Python, Jupyter Notebook for doing the checking the and doing the R&D and doing the predictions, best prediction, finding out, selecting out the best model out of it. And Python is basically is the language which we used in the Jupyter Notebook, and also we have used it in Visual Studio Code at end-to-end thing here. And MongoDB basically we use as a NoSQL DB as a free account there, and GitHub repository where we have commit the code and setting up the our CI/CD pipeline as well, and a fast API for the front end where users can see that how that the code will look like, means that where user can enter their things, means the form, fill up the form and see that whether that visa has been approved or not. S3 is basically place where we have put our pickle file. Yeah, so these are the basically commands what I've used in during the whole journey. So you can find it out in my GitHub repository. Yeah, and then so so first of all we have created the end-to-end coding, as well as we have done all these things. Now we have to do the deployment part for this. So this is the purpose which is I'm trying to demonstrate here. So this is basically our end-to-end infrastructure architecture what we have going to do now. And basically what we will do, we'll have a GitHub account where we have the code here, and the rest of the things basically, and the Visual Studio Code. So this is two places where we already have the things done, and MongoDB already there. So and also we have pushed our file, basically what I can say, our pickle file in S3 from the code itself. It is not that we have done it from the manually, it is basically we have put through the code. So this is so far what we have already done. Now we have to set up a GitHub action runner, and then we will have to also do the uh, ECR. Basically we'll have to create the Docker image in the ECR, Amazon ECR, and we'll also create a user so that we can push everything to the ECR. And also we have uh, done we have to also do the deployment end to end for the this complete model. So let's get started and doing that. And okay, so let me first also demonstrate that. Okay, this is the code, it is basically written here. uh, I will not be able to explain now. If you want that to code through, walk through and all these things, you just let me know in the comment sections. I'll do that. Otherwise I'll just do a little bit go through here. So this is the place where we have that code, the whole code. uh, Basically cloud storage, which is basically S3, where that we are pushing up the code, or pushing the pickle file from this code to S3, and everything is written here in this code itself. Yeah, so basically if I'll go this is component files, data ingestion, transformer, validation, and everything is written here. End-to-end coding, yeah. And for logger, things we have it in here as well as here artifacts, where we are pushing our feature in data ingestion, data validation, data uh, transformer, all these files over here. Yeah, so this is also a model trainer is also we have pushed here. So this is the complete code for this, what we have done so far. So now the time is to deploy the code. So for that I have already logged into my uh, Amazon uh, account on AWS console. So first of all, the first things, let me show what we have to do. So if we'll go, I'll already explain what we are going to do it here today. So yeah, so it is basically, if you'll let me a little bit expand it here, undo. Mm, okay, so today actually okay, so I have already configured this end to end thing over here. Let me- so yeah, so we have already uh, put these steps over here, what we have to do. So first of all, we'll have to create the our EC2 instance and ECR in AWS console. So let me start doing this, but before that we have to configure one user, IAM user. So in your AWS console, you'll go to the dashboard, and let me do it from start from scratch. So yeah, so either you can choose it from here, or you can write it out here, IAM, or the other ways, the third way is you can go here and search your service from here, either from here, because it is coming as whatever we have used recently. So when you will come to the console first time, it will not be available. So all services are over here, and you can choose it from here. If you have an idea that where it will be lying up here, then you can easily find it out. Otherwise, the best way which I propose is basically search it here, IAM, and then go to here and create a user. So I have another already, I have a one user here, and which is basically no not using it right now. So let me create another one. I'll create as US visa, because my project name is visa, US visa. So I just click on next and attach policy. I'll for the deployment purpose, I'm checking as administrator purpose, but for your thing, you have to check with your, as per your company policy, you have to create a policy and you have to attach it. You have to do a customized policy, and you create a permission accordingly. Yeah, so I'm just choosing this administrative access, and then next. And so basically tagging is one of the good thing, since we are doing only a demonstrated purpose. I am not doing it now, but it's a good practice, so that when you'll do the billing in your company firms and everywhere, it is a good practice to create a tag and all here. So you can create a tag here if you want. This is optional value. I'm just putting similar as before. Yep, and create user. So now my user has been already created. Now I'll go inside my user, and then go to security credentials, and then I'll go to the down below access key and create access key. Now I have to choose, basically in our case we have to choose command line argument, because whatever we'll do it from the our SSH basically. So we have do this command line interface, and then click on next. Okay, we have to do that as well. Click on next. Description value, it's all your choice, and then basically you have to create that. Now you have that access key is in access key, and secret access key is already available. Now you can download this, and then you can open this file here because it is required for you in the future for the purpose. So yeah, and then once it is done, you can click on done. So now you can go, and then you have to do a next step. Now my first part is basically ECR, create an ECR image. ECR image I have to create, then I have to go to my Meson ECR again, basically ECR thing, and then create a elastic container registry, AWS container registry. If you'll already have the registries, and then might be you can find it out over here. So in this case I think I have already created before. Let me delete it. US, I have to write the delete here. Okay, now it's a basically nothing is over here, and I have to create it from the scratch. Then I'll have to create a repository. It will be a private. I'll have to give a name. I'm giving it name as US Visa, and then create repository. So my Visa US Visa, this repository has been created with the encryption of AES 256. Nothing is inside right now, so yep, leave it here, and then go to the another service called EC2 instance. So I'll keep it here as this. I'll not close this one because this one maybe we have to see it later as well. One thing I have to show that we have this S3 is over here in model pickle file here already moved by the local code to S3 before. So yeah, and then we'll go to the again here, and then we'll have to EC2 services. So again I need a EC2. I'm going EC2. So currently there are no running servers in my EC2, so I have to launch an EC2 instance here. So I'll launch EOS Visa EC2. This is my EC2 instance. This is my instance name. Yeah, I'm going to deploy it in Ubuntu, and I'm choosing basically 20.04 Ubuntu server, and yeah, it's basically recommended is basically to go for the large T2 large and other service, but since we are doing it in a deployment mode, and we'll have to check once, and then I'll demonstrate first and then kill everything. So I'm just using as a free tier T2 micro, but it's in production. It is based on the load or scalability. It could be you have to either might be you have to deploy it in a highly scalable or highly available fault tolerant environment like Kubernetes, Docker, or something like that. But for this demonstration, it's a small demonstration purpose. I am keeping it it is in T2 micro. It could be possible that you have this UAT environment, and then you might be have to do it in the production deployment. For the production environment, you have to do it on a large scale. So yeah, and then I already created one key pair. If not, you don't want to use it, you can create a new. It's very easy. You have to choose the encryption type, and then you can download it. There are multiple ways to connect to EC2 instance. If you have to use putty, if you are working on Windows machine, then you can use putty. Otherwise you can use a OpenSSH. It's basically a bash commands, and you can use a git bash from Windows machine, or if you want to use it from Linux or Mac, then you can use SSH as well. That PAM key. A PAM key also can be used in git bash. PPK if you have to use it on putty. So I'm not giving much time here. I'm not doing it here much. Let me create the If you need any detail, sorry, if you need any further details or anything, wherever you stuck or anything, you can come to me. You can put in a comment box, or you can connect to me through LinkedIn as well. I'll put everything in my description box, and then let's create the key pair. So this is not, we don't need it, but we have created for sake of if it's required in the future. Security group, we'll allow everything here currently, HTTPS. uh, then as is, nothing else. For production, it could be anything more than 32 GB or anything, but I'm taking it as a 8 GB is enough. Just launch the instance. So now my instance is launching. It's just view this, and if it says pending currently, let's wait for the until it will not show up as running. Once it will be showing as running, I'll deploy it in I'll go to the next step. It should not be take much time. Yeah, it is running now, initializing. I'll have to select it or connect, or I have to do it go inside. There are two multiple ways. I have to go here then connect. This is one way, or I can go directly here and then connect. It is also possible. Means I'll go instance, then go here, click on the instance ID. It will open this page. I can see my public IP over here, private IP, my DNS name, and all these values over here. My status of this EC2 machine monitoring, securities, what we have currently. Later we have to also allow port 8080 for this project. It's also possible that we can do it now. Let me do it now itself, because we need it in the later stage. Let me allow edit inbound rules, add one more rule. It's port 8080, allow for everything, but in your case you have to be specific. In productions or in a corporate, it is not allowed to allow everything. In the security is one of the biggest factor. It cannot be allowed like this. So just saving it and going back. So now it is done, so that everything is fine. Now let me go and connect. So there are multiple way here. If it will do it in this EC2 instance connect, it will connect over here directly in this machine. Means it will pop up like this. You can connect, you can do everything over here, and it is one of the easiest way where you don't need to download any other software separately, and you can do it. Yep. So since I have to do everything in a one screen, I'll show the steps and everything here. So let me connect through SSH. Since I already opened this, so first thing I have to do it is basically this command. So first I'll copy this command. I'll go to my Visual Basic thing, Visual Studio, and then let me see, where am I right now. I am in code currently. Let me go back to my home directory, then go back to the download, because my key is downloaded there. So I what the command I copied, I just paste it over here, and then what the other command is, basically we have the SSH command. So this is the SSH command I have. I'll just paste it over here. So yeah, so I have to say yes, it will connect. So I am connected to EC2 machine currently. So as I told, let me clear the screen. So as I told, I have everything commands over here, done it here. So I have to execute all these commands one by one. Basically I have to update my EC2 Ubuntu code. If you are using Ubuntu, you have to do get update. If you are using Linux, then you have to do a sudo yum update command. -y means basically you don't want to say in between that, okay, I have to say yes, that because it will prompt that whether you want to proceed further or not. So if I'll not do this y here, you can see that it will ask for the permission, do you want to continue or something. So here I have to say y, then I have to do, if I'll put a -y over here, -y, then it will not ask for that. So this is basically updating my up to dated. Whenever you will buy any computer or anything, it is similar that you have to update everything, right? So let's see whether we have a Docker image over here. So it is done. We don't have a Docker here, that's why it is suggesting me to either deploy the Docker this way. Since I have already have the commands over written here, a curl command first, which basically get the my shell script, and this shell scripts I'll execute. So it will download and it will install the Docker in my EC2 instance. So this is basically I'm connected to Ubuntu EC2 machine. This is 172.31 and 42, 43, 32, 34. If you'll go here, if you'll go here, you can see that the 172, 31, 43 and 34 is basically our EC2 private IP. Public IP is this one. So let me finish this one. Yeah, now I'll check that my Docker is installed or not. I don't think so. It is the case that it will not install. It is installed. I can see the build version, what is there. Now just change some permissions of user mode. For these I'm giving a Docker to a sudo permission, and then creating a group. Now I have to go to my GitHub account, and basically let me see where is my GitHub. My GitHub account is here. So I'm already inside. Once I'll open it, I can see my profile page. So yeah, I have to go inside my repository in GitHub, and then go to settings, and there are multiple things I have to do. First thing, basically I have to set up my secret keys and everything over here, and go to actions. So basically I have set it up all these values earlier. So let me delete those values. The one way you can delete it, the other way is basically you can just update it. So for the purpose of saking everything is I'm doing as a fresh, I am deleting all these things. So yeah, so there are total 4 things I have to create. So first thing is basically I have to create my access key, which is I have written here. I have to give here, and secret key value I can get it from here, which I have downloaded for the okay. And then the next value I have to give a secret access key. So first access key is done. Now create another repository secret, and then I'm doing it for this here, paste it over here, done. Now the third thing is basically I have to do a default region. If I'll be able to show you, I am using US East 1. So I'm using a US East 1, so I have to give this value in for my EC2 instance, because everything I'm deploying it in EC2 US East 1. So fine, you can also find this where is this EC2 instance is deployed. You can see it here US-East. You can see that it is deployed in this US East 1. Okay, so let me, it's fine I think, and go back to that, and I have to create another one. Basically my default region. Basically I have to copy it from here, paste it here, and then I have to give a US-east-1, add a secret, and the last one is ECR repo. So ECR repo, the ECR repo what we have created in console, I have to give the same name over here. So let's we go there. Yes, basically US visa I have to give here. So yeah, since we have to use this this GitHub itself for doing the setting up our CI/CD pipeline, I'm using it. So once this is done, I can go inside this and I have to set up in the again in the settings, and then go to actions and then go to runners. Initially we have go to seek settings and then secrets, where we have set up that all the our secrets. Now it is again we have to go to secret and then go to actions and then go to runners. Now it is no runners is defined. Basically I have to define my CI/CD pipeline, go to click on the new, and then go to Linux, because our operating system is this. Rest of the same things we have to use it same. Now the GitHub itself is providing me GitHub actions. Basically this is what we have to call it as GitHub actions. It is providing me all the commands, so I have to copy all these commands and paste it over in my EC2 instance console. So yeah, one by one I'll do that. Once everything is done, now it is, you can see that there's a directory created and it is also go inside. It's a simple pure Linux command which I am not doing it. I'm not explaining much. It's curl command, another curl command. If you need some further details, I can show. You can contact me. I can tell. And yep, these are the commands as is. There is nothing I am doing a special. It's basically doing whatever it is written over. So once this is done, I have to do it here. The same thing, configuring GitHub action. It will ask for some default values. I have to keep pressing and enter. Yeah, enter. Everything is done, and then the last command is I have to run this GitHub runner here. Before that, let me show you. If I'll go to my here, currently there is nothing. It is showing that success something, which is basically, if you see, this is my previous one. When I have deployed the code, but you will find some icons over here, idle or something. Okay, let me go back to the settings. Still, if you see that actions, it's showing offline. So one I'll press is this run .sh, basically scripts. Now it is showing a listening to the job for the job. So basically currently showing offline. Just let me refresh it. It's showing idle. So this is the, we are going very near to that. Now I have to start deployment. Yeah, and then now my connection between GitHub and EC2 environment is done. So now if I'll go here, so we have one file called AWS YAML file. It basically do the end-to-end deployment, creating everything. It's required access key here, what we have already configured everything. So once I'll commit the code, it will basically goes to idle to deployment stage. So let me do it. I have to open it another window. Let me see if I have to do something changes. Git status. Yeah, I have one file to just trigger my pipeline. I'll add it, and then git commit -m, and then I'll say commit us visa dot html file, done a small changes, and then once I'll do push, it will basically connect, do the deployment. Git sh -u origin to main. This is, let's leave it here. Now my code is pushed, and let me go to this my code. I hope it will be starting the deployment. Yes, it is deployed, pending, currently showing as pending. Once I'll do this, I can see the details. I can click over here, I can see the progress. Oh, seems like that I have an issue over here. It is not taking up my credentials. Request is invalid. Okay, no issues. Let me try to resolve it. Seems old one. Okay, let me take this one, close this one, and take this one. No worries, let me create the another access key and all. The only thing we have to do some changes and do the commit again. I'll have to go to IAM again. Security, okay, IAM. This is good. We'll also have this kind of problems in the production. I already have this US visa. Go to security, and basically you can see that we have our file over here. Numbers, and what is our AKFI. So this is the correct one. Let me try it post over here again. Let me configure this again to my okay, again I have to go to settings, and then secrets, actions, and secret key access key ID. Put it over here, save it. Now go back to my this one. GitHub action. I think rest of the things should be fine. Paste it over here and then update. Now let me do a commit again. Yeah, so for that I have to do a small change in any file. US visa approval prediction. I have just a small change I have done here, and then let me put it again. Status, one file is changing, then add it over here and commit the same for comment. I'll add up here and then push. So again after this push, my file will be add up over here. Once that push will be done, again I'll go here and see. Now I hope everything should be fine, but let's see. detail. Yeah, it is picking up my through. Now this time it is through my EC2 EC AWS account. Now it will doing the deployment. So at the same time you can see the usage since it is doing the deployment workflow file. This is the AWS YAML file. Go back here, summary. So this is basically in progress, showing that it is right now it is doing the integration and then do the deployment. Basically integration is nothing but a deployment or basically a build. Yeah, and then go to here. Let's see what it's doing. Once that will finish, that complete job will come, and then we can check that whether our page is working or not. So let's wait for a couple of seconds or minute and then see whether our deployment is working or not. So in the meantime, basically I'll tell what we have done in the data ingestion. Basically we have connected to if I'll go here, let me show it up over here to you. What is it basically doing? It's a flow charts. I've created flow charts over here. I'll create more over here. So yeah, so this is basically our development environment flowchart. Basically this is the ML framing over here. This is the deployment code. Yeah, and this is the data ingestion part, where basically how the data ingestion is happening over in this. There is a data ingestion flow, basically what specifically file by file. This is the generalized diagram. Again it is for this project only, but yeah, this is again generalized by where I have used the code itself to be more precise. Similarly, for I have created for transformer validation, that kind of thing over here. This is basically a flow for the any ML ops project. So I put this specifically for here is for because yeah, so any project will be evaluation and then pusher, model pusher and model trainer projects. This is the flowchart for directory structure of our project for specifically for this US visa. Let me see what is happening over here. Yeah, it is deploying. So you can see the setup job done, checkout done, credential configure, AWS is done, build tag and pusher is done. So everything is happening correctly as of now. I hope this will be deployed and we'll be able to see the everything soon. It's showing this is deployed successfully. So now let me go and trigger this in so let me go to my EC2 instance. This is my public IP, and if I'll go over here and do it over here, no, and then 8080 because I have configured this port. Yeah, so this is my form is basically which I have deployed successfully. So congratulations to everyone, and if there is any issue you can come to me and I'll be able to help you. Yeah, or if there is any question you can ask me in the comment box. I'll let you, I'll try to resolve it. Yeah, let me see that the results are coming or not. Oh, visa not approved. So this is all about, and yeah, thank you everyone, and yep, thanks.